simple leaves. They have one leaflet on the stalk. They have one margin. Simple entire. Plants with simple entire leaves. Mango, jackfruit, avocado. Simple serrated. Examples: blackjack, lantana, camara. Simple lobed leaf. Simple palmate. Example: purple leaf. Simple lanceolate. Examples: maize, sugarcane, sorghum. Compound leaf. They are leaves with many leaflets on the stalk. Characteristics of compound leaves. They have many leaflets on a leaf stalk. Example of compound leaves: compound pinnate leaves, e.g. acacia. Compound bipinnate leaves, e.g. jacaranda. Compound trifoliate leaves, e.g. beans. Compound digitate uses of leaves to people. Some leaves are eaten as food, e.g. cabbages, onions, etc. For sale, for starching houses, for making decorations, e.g. palm leaves. For beverage, e.g. tea leaves. For herbal medicine, e.g. mango leaves, guava leaves, etc. For feeding domestic animals. For making pots. For study purposes. Uses of leaves to plants. For making food, in brackets photosynthesis. For breathing, for transpiration. Some store food for the plant, e.g. onions and cabbages. Some are used for propagation, e.g. bryophyllum, the onion bulb.
Bryophyllum. Bryophyllum.
Bryophyllum.
Bryophyllum. That's the word. Okay, continue.
The onion bulb.
Sorry?
The top part of the onion bulb. The upper part is called the base of scape. The middle part is called the bulb. After the bulb, it's called the tunic. And another one is called adventitious roots, fleshy scale leaf, apex, axillary bud. A tunicated bulb of onion, BLS of bulb. Foliage leaves. Make food for the onion. Fleshy leaves. Store food for the onion. Scaly leaves. Protect the inner parts of the bulb. Axillary bud. Grows into a new plant or shoot system. Stem. Holds the leaves together. Passage for water and mineral salts from the soil to the leaves. Produces leaves, roots, and buds. I'm done.
Oh, thank you so much, Nasha, for that wonderful work. I really am very, very much excited for you. I'm so much happy for you because you've made my day. You've presented very well, just as I expected you to do. So I think next time you will have to still continue summarizing right away from here. We have transpiration starting from here. You also have photosynthesis. All those are processes that take place in a leaf. Last time we said that there are three processes that take place in a leaf. One of them is photosynthesis, the other is transpiration, and then gaseous exchange. Gaseous exchange occurs with the help of the stomata, the small openings that are found on a leaf. So there are three processes that occur in a leaf. One of them is photosynthesis, transpiration, and then gaseous exchange. So those are the processes that we shall be looking at just next time. And then we also have these questions. You can attempt them as you continue. Uses of stems to people and other animals. You will look at them and write them down. You can also look at the uses of stems to a plant. You look at them and write them down. You look at the types of stems. By the way, if you understand these things very well, you will have simple work and good time in primary 6 because we shall still look at this topic in primary 6, but from there it will be slightly detailed. So I need you to continue working hard. You read whenever you're free, log into the site and then read the work. Science is simple and it is only simple for those who work hard. If you work hard, definitely it becomes very, very simple for you. So that's what I want you to do. Next time you continue all this, these are ways how some plants climb other plants, reasons why they do so. Then after that, you look at roots. If you have time, look at roots and all that, just like that, so that when we meet, things are just very, very simple. Okay. So that's what I want you to look at next time. At least if you look at this, if you look at much of it, it means that we shall have the 2 meetings and then we finish this topic. And then you do the assignments. The assignment is down and then you do it and then I will be able to mark it and then we move to the next topic. Some of these ones are small. They are too small, but we shall finish them in a day. So let's get back to what you presented. You presented a lot of things, nation, and after leaf venation, you also looked at the types of leaves, and it is so good. So I want to see if there are some challenging parts that you saw, so that we can rectify those issues. So you started from here, very well, and then we move on. So if there is any question where you don't understand, you can ask so that we can move on. Otherwise, everything was just wonderful. Everything was just wonderful. Characteristics, simple leaves. These are leaves with one leaflet on the stalk. You looked at the examples of simple leaves. We have simple entire. It looks like that. So these are the examples of plants which have such kind of leaves. The mango plant, jackfruit, avocado, simple serrated, blackjack, Platana camara, simple lobed. We also have simple palmate. This one is for the purple. This one is for the simple lanceolate. This one is for the maize plant, mostly cereal crops, maize, sugarcane. You have the compound, the sorghum, and so on. Compound leaves.
Teacher,
Yes, please.
how do they pronounce this like simple lanceolate? How do they pronounce it?
It's just lanceolate. Lancolate, simple lancolate. Simple lancolate. Sometimes if you have a dictionary, you can, if you have a dictionary in your smartphone, if you have a smartphone, you just check the dictionary and then there is where pronunciation is. Any word that you don't know how to pronounce, just go to the dictionary and then you look for the pronunciation. Then there is where the speaker is, they can pronounce it loud and then you hear several times. It will help you to know that. So characteristics. So this one is a compound pinnate. Sometimes they can ask you in your examination to draw this one. That is a compound pinnate. That is a compound pinnate. Then the one which has very many, the other one is bipinnate. This one down here, it is called compound bipinnate. It has very, very many. This one goes here like that, like that, like that. So this one, compound pinnate. The other one, compound bipinnate. Sometimes they ask you to draw in your examination. So you must be able to know the difference between compound pinnate and then compound bipinnate. And then the other one, which is most common again, is this one, the one with 3 leaflets. This one is called compound trifoliate. It is very common. They always ask children to draw, especially in primary 6. They say draw a compound trifoliate. So you must be able to know. It is just as long as they have said trifoliate, these are 3. Tri means 3 leaflets. So you draw 3 leaflets like this, just as it is, and then they will mark you correct. Will be marked correct. It is commonly said among all those ones, this compound trifoliate is commonly said so much. So you must be able to know that. Then the uses, you presented this very, very well. The other thing maybe that we shall talk about is propagation, because you say that some plants or some leaves are used for propagation, e.g. bryophyllum. So there are some plants, there is a plant called bryophyllum. And for you to get a new plant from it, it means you have to plant the very leaf. You plant its leaf and then you get that plant. So this is the plant. They can ask you, mention any one plant which is propagated using leaves. So you simply say bryophyllum, bryophyllum, bryophyllum. Of course, you'll divide this into syllables, B-R-Y-O, bryo, P-H-Y, phi, and L-L-U-M, lam, bryophyllum. The word is bryophyllum, as simple as that. So maybe before we move further, what is propagation? What is propagation? You need to know this. What is propagation? Do you have any idea? Nash, do you have any idea? I need you to check in the chat and then read the definition of bryophyllum. Of propagation? What is propagation?
Propagation is the way some plants are grown.
Good. Propagation is the way some plants are grown. As simple as that. So that's just a way how some plants are grown. As simple as that. So different plants are grown in different ways. There are those plants that we grow using seeds. There are those plants that we grow using stem cuttings. Stem cuttings including cassava. We grow cassava using stem cuttings. Potatoes, we grow potatoes using potato vines or using vines, potato vines. For the case of onions, we grow onions by planting bulbs or by planting the onion itself. Groundnuts, we plant groundnuts by planting seeds. So this is what we call propagation. When someone talks about propagation, you need to know that, oh, that's how plants are grown. Different plants are grown in different ways. For the case of bananas, how do you get a new banana plant? If you want a new banana plant, if you want to plant a new one in a different place, what do you do?
By planting the suckers.
Very good. By planting the suckers. As simple as that. Okay. So is there any other question that you would like to ask? Oh, maybe about the parts here. These are parts of an onion. I don't know if you drew it very well. So there is a part that you said foliage leaves. These are foliage leaves. Foliage leaves are the top leaves. They are green always. They are green in color. They are supposed to be here or here. Green in color because this one also grows underground. So the leaves are always on top here. The leaves are on top here. So the leaves are green in color. So they are called foliage leaves. These foliage leaves are responsible for making food for the onion. They are responsible for making food for the onion. So you may ask yourself, but where are the foliage leaves? The foliage leaves are supposed to be on top here. They are green in color. They are green in color. Those are the foliage leaves. Then the fresh leaves, this is the part that stores food and is the part that we eat. Always inside there. Scaly leaves, these ones protect the inner parts of the bulb. Protected inner parts of the bulb. Then the auxiliary bulb, this one is the one which grows on the side and it can grow into a new plant. Like you can see this one, it will continue growing and then it becomes a new one, a new young plant. It will get out and grow and becomes a new bulb, a new shoot or a new plant. Then the stem, we also not seeing the stem here. The stem, are you seeing this part called disc? Are you seeing this part called disc?
Yes, teacher.
So this is the part which is called the stem. That is the stem of the onion. That is the stem of the onion. Then if they ask you to mention the type of leaves found in onions, these are adventitious roots. Adventitious roots. These ones here. So the roots that develop directly from the stem. Any root that develops directly from the stem, that one is called adventitious roots. We have two types of roots. We have primary roots and secondary roots. Another name to mean secondary roots is adventitious roots. When we reach there, we shall look more and get to understand more about the types of roots. We have two types of roots, primary roots and then adventitious roots. For primary roots, those ones are supposed to develop, or they develop from the radical. When we continue, we shall look at the seeds and we shall get to know which part is the radical and which part is the plumule. So those roots that develop directly from the radical, they are called primary roots. They are called primary roots. And there are only two. We have fibrous roots and then the tap root system. Even the root systems are two. They can ask you, mention any one root system. Name the root system found in In maize, the root system found in maize, that is fibrous root system. If it is in crops like groundnuts and the peas, like that, legumes, mostly, or tree plants, those ones have what you call taproot system. When we reach there, we shall get to know more about that. So I want you to take much of your time and discuss that. So that's it. I want to thank you once more for being a bright child, for being so good and being ready to learn. Thank you so much. If there is no question, then we shall have to say bye-bye to one another. So if you have a question, you can please raise it up.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please.
Is it true that when you eat an onion, it saves the liver?
It does what?
It saves the liver from rotting if you eat an onion.
I don't know much about it. I don't know whether it is scientifically true, but locally, people believe that when you eat it, it can help. It can help your liver. That is according to the traditional belief, but I don't know whether it is scientific.
Okay, teacher.
Scientific, but people believe, people like using herbal medicine in the village, and they might have proven that true. But for me, I don't have a scientific fact that it is actually true. So any other thing?
No, teacher.
Okay, so I want to thank you so much for the good work. So continue now. When you still have time, you can continue going through transpiration. You draw that diagram very well. You also look at, and even these factors affecting the rate of transpiration. There are many, I'm going to add more. There are many, these ones are just only 3. There are many. Size of the leaf, temperature, humidity, number of stomata, number of leaves in the plant, surface area of the leaf. All those ones are factors that affect the rate of transpiration. So I need to give you all of them so that when you go to P6, it's just a revision. Then after that, you look at photosynthesis. Look at photosynthesis. After photosynthesis, you look at stems. We have upright stems or erect stems, climbing stems, and then underground stems. And then, even by the way, even those diagrams need to be drawn, especially this one. This one of tendrils, and then the other one of tendrils, and then the one of this one of clasping. Clasping and the other one, they need to be drawn. Then you continue like that. So that's it. I want to wish you a very wonderful day. Thank you for attending. I wish you well.
Have a nice day too.
Thank you. You too.
Bye, teacher.
Bye. Thank you.